Hi, everybody, and welcome to my podcast. I'm so glad that you're taking the time to listen. Martin Luther wrote these words: "Beautiful music is the art of the prophets that can calm the agitations of the soul. It is one of the most magnificent and delightful presents God has given us." I really love that quote. Now, I'm recording this podcast in the last week of June 2025. This weekend, the biggest music festival in the UK takes place. Glastonbury Music Festival is one of the most prestigious events in the music business. It's the music festival, and artists from all over the world dream of playing on the main stage. Actually, I played Glastonbury many years ago, but in the town, not the actual festival. I'm looking forward to watching some of the artists on TV rather than camping in a field. Camping is definitely not for me. This weekend, Rod Stewart is doing the Legends slot, so I'm definitely going to watch that. And talking about Legends, I'm thinking back to 2023 and the Legends slot, which was an afternoon performance from Cat Stevens, or Yusuf Islam as he's now known. I was a fan of Cat Stevens back in the early 1970s and modelled my style and voice on his. I tried to sound like him whenever I performed. He's definitely a person I would love to meet and spend some time with. The high point of his set was when he sang the wonderful old hymn, "Morning Has Broken." His recording of that hymn became a huge hit back in the 1970s. It was incredibly moving to see more than 80,000 people singing a song of worship at a major rock festival. I must admit to getting quite emotional. I always do whenever I see a huge crowd of people worshipping like that. I believe that Yusuf is someone who carries the presence of God with him, and for a brief moment, that field in Glastonbury became a place of worship. It was church, I guess. People in community singing with one voice to the Creator. Who knows how many people in that crowd connected with God's presence and love in that moment. The UK Guardian newspaper reviewed Cat Stevens' performance with this summary: "The 74-year-old's sweet mellow pop and indelibly beautiful classic cuts provided a soothing balm for tired music fans on the final afternoon of the festival." I also remember another year, Glastonbury 2019, when Stormzy performed "Blinded by Your Grace, Part 2. He starts off by saying, "We're going to give God all the glory right now." And then 100,000 people sang these words: "Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fixed me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me." Take a look at the BBC video of that performance on YouTube and allow yourself to be moved by the presence of God in that moment. I'm sure that as people sang those words, God heard the cries of many hearts. You may wonder why I'm talking about these performers bringing people to an act of worship. You may have questions about their faith or lifestyle, particularly someone like Stormzy, who frequently drops the F-bomb in conversation. But the simple truth is that as humans, we are all flawed in some way, and I guess no better example of a flawed human being with a huge ego was King David. His ego was so big that he named a city after himself. And he certainly fell from the morality and standards we expect in a huge way. And yet God said of David that he is a man after my own heart, and God worked through him to change history. So this gives me hope that God will work through each of us to touch others with his love. This weekend, 200,000 people will gather in the fields near the little town of Glastonbury. Perhaps among the huge range of artists participating, there may be those who know God and those on a journey toward him. Like us, they may be flawed, but have a heart after God and want their songs and music to connect their audience with the divine. Thanks for listening to this brief podcast, and there are many others for you to listen to. If you'd like to be kept updated with our songs, poetry and podcasts, do sign up for my newsletter at my website, www.noelrichards.com. Thanks once again.